what I thought I'd do, if I do the return first, because that's the shortest one, and then everything else is going to just follow it in sort of 60mm gaps or whatever it'll be, but that's the first one. What's up guys, thanks for tuning in to my latest video, the life of a jobbing plumber. Not done one for a while. I've been pretty much consumed with marathon training. I've got the London Marathon this weekend on Sunday. I'm bricking it, but hopefully I'll be all right. I've stuck to my training plan. I've been running 4 times a week and I feel good, so yeah, fingers crossed I do all right. So a couple of jobs for you this week that hopefully you'll find interesting. And then we had Craig and Billy working with me. I had to do 4 boilers in 3 days last week for a landlord. So I got Craig and Billy in on the job to help me out. And while we were there, we did a pipe bending challenge. Now, I'm going to put this at the end of the video so you can watch it. But basically, it was to see who could bend a piece of 22mm copper in a scissor bender without using the floor or their body as a brace to bend it. So basically just using your arms. Now, anytime there's anything to do with strength put on social media, you will get people comment and say, oh, that's easy, I can do that, you're making it look hard. And they'll just chat shit. So you say to them, fine, you prove it, put your own video out there of you doing it, and they never do. So I'd love to see what people comment on this, because I'm the first to admit that bending a piece of 22mm copper without using the floor is hard. Like, it's tough. And I go to the gym 4 times a week. So yeah, I'm going to put this video and I just want to see what people think, because yeah, obviously not everyone could do it, and it's hard. It's hard. It's not easy. So yeah, that video went out on TikTok and it's got over 1 million views because so many people were saying how easy it is to do, but yet not backing it up. But yeah, hope you enjoy this video and I'll see you next time. Wish me luck for the marathon on Sunday. If you want to donate, I know that times are tough at the minute, not everyone's got any spare cash to just donate for various causes that are going around, but I'm running for Parkinson's UK, so if you want to support me, I'll leave the link in the description of the video. I hope you've had a good week, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers guys. Today's job with Marcus, taking out this cylinder, hot water cylinder, and we're putting an unvented one in. So we're going to be removing the shower pump, because obviously this is on gravity. This will all be gone and it will be mains pressure, so we don't need that. Pretty tight cupboard. I'm going to try and squeeze it all in. So just at the stage now, drain down, and we're ripping everything out, labelling up what pipes we need. It's got a hot outlet. That's the hot to the shower, that's the cold feed in, the rest of it can go, but when we've stripped it out we'll have a better idea. Okay, so I've got a cylinder out, it's been leaking, it's split at the bottom, you can see there. So we've got return from the cylinder there, flow to the cylinder came out the 3-port, we're actually changing this to 2 2-ports, so it was a wire plan, it's going to be an S plan now. This obviously is the flow to our radiators, so we've got to get back onto that. Flow from the boiler and the pumps stay in. This pipe in the corner at the back here, which came down here in 22, that would be, let me think, that would be the hot, so that teed out of the cylinder, that's the hot supply to the shower pump, and then it came off the shower pump there, and that's the hot out. And then this one here is the cold, so we've got the cold into the shower pump from the tank above, and the cold out, which went to the shower, which comes along here and down. So that we're going to have to tee into the cold mains, which is this one, and then this hot to the shower we're going to tee into this one, which is the hot out from the cylinder. That's going because that was the vent pipe. Already cut out the cold feed into the cylinder. So at this point it's just a case of working out what pipe does what, and then working out what we need to keep and what we don't. And then once we've joined in what we know we need to join in behind the cylinder, we'll get the cylinder in and start piping it. Right, so before we go any further, what I've done here, just move that out of the way, I've joined the colds together and the hots together, and then just took them up higher than the height of the cylinder, because we're going to get onto them once the cylinder's in. This is just work that's behind the cylinder we're not going to get to. All these 3 pipes, they came in so close together, they were just sort of bent sideways, so I bent a sort of dog leg on that with my hand as best I could to get the space in, and then we just had to put an elbow on that one. So that's the 2 colds joined together, and then the cold mains coming up, the 2 hot outlets which will obviously come into the top of the cylinder. And then just before I started cutting this out, basically this is the flow to the rads, so I'm going to put a socket on that and bring that again above the height of the cylinder, because that'll be behind it. The return, we're going to just cut that there, and then once the cylinder's in, we should be able to get on that to bring it up. This 3 port's coming out. We're probably going to cut this above the pump, but again, all that can be done once the cylinder's in. So for now, I'm just going to cut that, extend it up, cut that, and get this piece out of the way, and then we're going to drop the cylinder in. Oh, we're also going to put a new bit of ply down first, and then hopefully, because we've done everything there behind it, we can do everything else once the cylinder's in at a higher level. So as you see, cut the return off there. Extended the radiator heat and flow, so now they're all above the height of the cylinder. Dropped a bit of ply on just for it to sit on. So we're going to offer this cylinder in now, and then work out what we're going to do with that return and all this stuff once we know where the tappings are on the cylinder. Okay, so I'm just piping the cylinder now. The hot's done, bringing the cold inlet along and up over here, because we've got the flow for the hot water to go this way, the nest and the wiring centre and the fuse spreads all in that corner, so I didn't want to put too much pipe work there because it'd be in the way, so that's why I brought the cold this way. There's some shelve that goes on there, and there's some more shelving, so I'm trying to now work out where to connect my cold. Obviously I've got to get this pipe to this pipe here, so that's the stage we're at the minute. Okay, so the cylinder's full now with water. We've put the expansion vessel for that up there. Now Marcus has been doing the pipe work for the heating, and I said to him we should put the valve up here, but he wanted it down here because apparently the guy's gonna have a boiler up here at a later date. But it's very close to the pump, and once that one's on, it's gonna sort of trap the pump in, but it's Marcus's job, so I had to do what he said. We sort of had a little, not an argument about it, but a little discussion about it. Who would you have gone with? Would you have put them up here, or would you have done what Marcus did? Let me know in the comments. Now the fun bit. So I've got to work out what cables do what. Obviously it comes from a nest, so that's pretty straightforward. And then I've got to pick up hot water stat and the 2 new zone valves, because we were on a Y plan, now we're on an S plan. Right, you can probably hear it's working now. We had an absolute nightmare with wiring. Whoever wired it up initially for a wire plan just didn't. So we had to basically start again. And now we're just going to get the lagging done. Just started the easy bits, going to do this bit now. And then once we've lagged it all, finish off the PRVs. We've got the ton dish there. It goes out. We're both starting to hate this job now, but it's too humid. Yeah, it's a bit warm in here. Right, lagging's done. Don't think I've ever cut so many T's in lagging in my life. PRV, we've just bent that, and then Marcus is just wiring in the immersion with some heat resistant flex. It's all full, it's on, and the water's red hot. So yeah, pretty much done. Have you enjoyed yourself today, mate?
It's been too hot, hasn't it, mate? It's been absolutely boiling.
Gets to about 2 o'clock and Marcus starts panicking if he's not packing his kit up.
Yeah, well,
we're on
countdown and everything. I've missed it. Look at the time.
4:30.
4:30. Missed countdown. I'm going to miss everything on it.
Cheers, guys. Right, guys, just a quick video to let you know that one of the bags I designed with Velocity Pro gear, the PB jobbing bag, is now available in this awesome camo print. It looks wicked. I'm proper pleased with it. So if you don't know, the idea behind this bag is it's still got all the features like the tough base, the handles, the removable tub on the inside, but there's only just enough pockets for you to load it out to do a specific job. So if you're doing a pump swap, you got your pump in, pump valves, the tools you need to do that job, take it in the job, saves you taking your whole kit bag in. Or if you're going in a roof space, load it with enough stuff to do the job you're doing in the roof space, so you're not carrying your massive fully loaded kit bag up there. It's one of my favourite bags. I've got like 4 of these in my van with different loadouts in them. You do get a shoulder strap with it if you need it. But yeah, they're available now on the Velocity website. I'll leave the link in the bio. Go straight there and buy one if you want one. Literally brand new out. Good morning, Marcus fans. I'm back with the main man in Arnold. So we've got a really nice job today. We're in a garage. There's the van. My van's just out on the street. We're moving this Valent combi, well, we're taking this Valent combi out and putting the new one this side, because they're going to be building a wall here and this is going to become like a utility room. So our job today, we are hanging the boiler, fluing it, and we're going to get the pipes down up to about here today, and then tomorrow we're going to come back so they can still use this tonight, and tomorrow we'll decommission this and then basically bring the pipes along high level and connect onto what we installed today. That's the plan, isn't it?
That's it.
And we're going to be doing some very nice pipe bending. So obviously we've got a bit of a blank canvas here. I am going to bend from, there's going to be a MB3 filter there. So that'll be my first one, and I'm going to follow that, but basically come down, bend and up, bend, ready for some press fit elbows. Then the cold's going to follow that, hot, and then finally the flow, all in bends until we get to sort of there. So that should be good. And then the gas is going to go straight up. This gas pipe here only feeds the boiler. They've got no other gas in the property, so it just goes up, along and back down again. Yeah, that's the plan. So I'll just show you where we started. I've just measured out my first, looks like I'm making a trombone, but what I thought I'd do, if I do the return first, because that's the shortest one, and then everything else is going to just follow it in sort of 60mm gaps or whatever it'll be. But that's the first one. Had a little bit of trouble this morning because I went to, where did I go? Tool fair last week, Thursday, with Lawton Tubes, and I took my bender to do the pipe bending challenge, and I left it there, so I've not got my bender. So I'm using Marcus's Rothenberger, which is going to be fun doing all this because I'm not used to it, but so far so good. That's the hardest one done, I think, because it's so close together there. But yeah, that's going to be going in now. Right, so just to give you an idea of how I'm doing this, we got all the clips on the wall, and then I did this one first because then we're going to do the rest off this one. So just done my first bend on my 15mm pipe, and then held a level 70mm, which is the distance between these two clips, between the centre of that one, and put my level there, and I've marked the pipe there, 70mm. So now when I put my 90 on that, the distance between going this way and this way will be the same. And then once I've done that, I'll then measure the same to go up in that clip. Now that clip is 40mm difference because that's how it comes on the boiler. But we've just spread them out there to make the lagging a bit more uniformed. So yeah, now I'm just going to go across right back to the boiler. So that's my 70mm gap, equal there. And then to get the upright, which is a 40mm gap, just using the laser level. So that's now in line with the boiler connection, and then I can just mark on my pipe where my next 90 is going to be, and then that will go up into that inline scale reducer. So another little update for you. We've got the hot in now. Me and Marcus are just talking about lagging. Obviously we've got enough room here to get the lagging in 13mm wall, but when we get here it's going to be really tight. Maybe Valent now, because all boilers have got to be lagged. They're going to have to redesign the Ecotech Plus. What do you think? It's a bit too close together, isn't it?
It is really.
Like on a back, so you get 60mm between all of them.
You get 40 here.
40mm there.
40, and then there's 50 here.
Yeah, but obviously your gas don't get your gas don't get lagged, so that's pointless.
So maybe they could, don't know.
They need to move them over a bit, we reckon.
Maybe some cranked fittings.
So that the hot one, because it's obviously come down, it's quite it's about 500 mil that way and then back up. That's almost a full length of copper, just to get us where we need to go. And then last but not least is going to be the 22 flow, which we should just get off a full length, hopefully. Be a shame if we didn't. Last one done. 22 mil with the Roths. I do not enjoy it. So the last 22 mil pipe obviously had the longest to go, and it's about what, 2 inch left. How lucky is that? Almost as if we planned it. Okay, so that's the copper in, ready for cutting. Press fit elbows up and along. They're all in their clips. The only thing we're going to do is in the middle of this middle of this length at the bottom, cut a drain cock in, drain the system, and then on the hot and cold we're going to somehow, we're not sure yet, get a hot and cold supply to come this way into the new cavity wall to supply this utility room. But yeah, that's all that done now. Pleased with that, looks good.
Got any long tail drain off speed?
No. So I'm just put hot and cold in for the build up, and then I'm just starting to do the lagging. So I've got these two T's here. Obviously it would have been nice to just drag a hole in for lagging up, but T's, I know I've showed this before, but I just love it so much. That's the lag it. My mate Zach makes them. Makes cutting T's into lagging, like perfect T's, really easy. I'll see if I can remember to put a link in the video, but yeah, it's called Lag It. You see those notches there? You line them up with the centre of your T, and then you cut down to that, and you spin it around, and you cut back up. So it's just such a clever idea. Look, like, you just line these lines up with the mark where you want to cut, and you sort of can get your head around it a lot easier than the Pipe Lagger Pro. So that's my recommendation. I'll show you when I've finished these T's, I'll show you how good they look. Quick update for you. So old boiler's off the wall now, and then we're just going to be cutting these. The gas is gone, cutting the cold, return, hot and flow, and then taking them across onto the new pipe work, which I've just started lagging. We've teed in just a cute little drain cock there, and then these are the hot and cold supply. The lagging looks a bit weird because it needs to be held in with a cable tie or something, but yeah, gas is done. Once that's done, across, cooking on gas. There's a builder here today. He's just got a cat flap into the wall. The builder, he's such a miserable bastard. He started building a wall to separate us. So we've just got this in purge mode now. Gas is tight. Lagging's all done. That's being boarded over. There's an electrician coming, so for now it's on an extension lead so we can test it. There's a Sparky coming to sort that out. Yeah, pretty good, pleased with that. Whenever I do a video, I like to show these bends. I made a reel and a TikTok, so I've got the bend there, the bend at the bottom, bend there, put it all together in a video, stick it online. People just look for fault in everything, and they're like, oh, how are you going to drain that down with no drain cocks? Like, they don't get that when you put something on, it's not necessarily a finished job. Obviously it's finished now, so we've got our drain cock in. And what I said to you about those T's, how good they look with the lag-it, how nice does that look? But yeah, they just like to pick fault with everything you do. We got I don't know if I mentioned this before. Yeah, I think I did, but yeah, we got the hot and cold there for the new utility room that's going in here. Yeah, that's it, pretty much done. I had to use two different coloured laggings because Marcus brought the wrong colour, but other than that, not a bad job. And we're done. So Marcus is doing the commissioning, and we've just got that old floor to brick up. I think The guy who's laying bricks literally got a bucket of compo mixed up. Should offer to do that for us. Do you reckon he will?
Not a chance.
Is he the most miserable bloke we've ever met?
Definitely.
Been slagging plumbers off all day. All he's done is make that cat flap.
And then spilt water everywhere.
Spilt water everywhere and put 2 rows of bricks in. And he's gone. Oh, let's have a look at his kit bag. What's he got? What kit's he got? DeWalt. He's a DeWalt man. That might explain a few things. Ox tool bag. What we got here? Sparky. Sparky. Never heard of them. And the classic. The old Stanley. It's a shame when people are miserable because it's quite nice being a tradesperson, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we'll get on with each other.
Yeah.
It's
Are you
normal.
miserable?
No, I'm always in a good mood.
Yeah.
So are you.
Try to be.
Even with those legs.
Yeah.
As you know, I've been doing training for the London Marathon. I've done a lot of runs recently. The last few runs I've done, I'm just going to show you some of the medals I've got in case you're interested. So I did this Equinox 24-hour run. I did the day 10k and the night 10k. That was really cool. You could run as many laps, 10k laps, as you wanted in 24 hours. I just did the 2, but yeah, that was good. You could camp out. It was like a festival atmosphere. That was really good. I did the big London half marathon. That was wicked. I quite like this medal. It's something different. And then I did the Great North Run. That was awesome. Really good experience. Obviously, with the sad news about the Queen, we thought it was going to be cancelled, but they kept it going. So that was in Newcastle. That was really good. And then sometimes I do virtual challenges. So this one's called the Thunder Run. I had to do this because I love Thundercats. And that medal is probably one of the best ones I've got. I can't take it out, actually. Probably can. Can I hit it? No, I can't do it one hand. But that comes out. So that's just a few of my medals I got recently. Anyway, enough of that. So I just wanted to show you something on Tradeify. So the jobs I did this week, I managed to get 4 boiler installs, all on these 2 streets in Loughborough. So I did 4. These are the ones where I had Billy and Craig. Oops. Dashboard. Billy and Craig working with me. Oh, it's disappeared now. And then there's one more thing I wanted to show you. So on any selected job, if you now go to forms and create form, we know that we've got like gas certificates and stuff on there, but they've now added oil stuff. So if you're oil of tech, you've got your oil firing installation report, service and commissioning report, landlord oil safety certificate, an oil warning and advice notice. So these have been added recently to Tradeify. So if you've got multiple guys working for you, or you're doing oil, yeah, Tradeify, it's what I use to book my jobs in, run my business basically. So if you've not had a go, check it out. You can do a 14-day free trial, and then if you do like it, you can sign up and use PB Plumber. You'll get 50% off. I think that's for the first 3 months, but check it out, see what you think. If you like it, go for it. I love it. So this was a call out to a leak through a ceiling. It was coming out just between the front door and the living room below, around about here. Now the only thing I could see was this bathroom rad, so I assumed it was where this bathroom rad teed off the pipework under the floor below. So it's a chipboard floor, big sheets that are glued. Everyone knows they're a nightmare to get up. What I decided to do was take a trap up just where I thought it was going to be, and I kept it purposely to the very edge of the room, because when you put it back down, if you don't get floor right, it will squeak. I didn't want to take the full sheet up, so I decided to do that. And also they told me that there was furniture going down over this area, so I knew that it wasn't going to be a problem. Been glued, so when I took the board up, half of it stayed glued to the joist. But anyway, I got just enough up that I could get my arm in and get my camera in to see. And you can see there roughly right above where the leak was coming through, we've got a couple of T's with 8mm pipe, 10mm plastic pipe coming off the T's. So that's where I think it's coming. Now, the weird thing about this job is when I came to look at this, we repressurized the system because I wanted to see where the leak was coming from, and it wouldn't leak. So I told him I'd have to come back and take the floor up because I came like one night about 5 o'clock on my way home. So now he's downstairs repressurizing the system, and it didn't start dripping, which you can see now, until we got to over 2 bar pressure. So what I'm going to do now is try and get closer with the camera so you can see exactly where it's leaking from. So whether this has, when it gets hot and cold, you know, plastic can move about and it's undone itself, or whether it wasn't done up tight on initial install, but you can see that outlet on that T is undone, and that's why it's leaking. So that's where the leak's coming from, and then obviously it was tracking along, and then you can see there where he made his hole with the screwdriver. It was coming in on the joints of the boards there, which is what it will normally do. If you get a leak, it'll find the slope of the ceiling and then come through the nearest joint. So what I thought I'd do is film the repair, what I did, and my plan was drain the system down. So I got the hose on the bottom rad downstairs, let all the water out of the system because I wasn't sure what was going to be the fault here, whether I was going to have to replace the T or what. But basically when I pulled the pipe out, because it was so loose, I didn't know the order of the washers. There was a blue one and 2 O-rings, so I took the good one apart just so I could see how it went together. You can see I'm there putting it all back together. So I basically looked at the good one to make sure I was putting them in the right order on the bad one at the back, and then just redid them, pushed the pipe in till it was fully in, and then tightened up the locking part of the T. Obviously, if this didn't work, I would have gone to the merchants. I don't keep this sort of stuff on my van, and then just replace the T, but luckily for me, it was all right. So yeah, all I did here was just set my camera up under the floor so you could see what I did. And where I'd cut that trap up in the floor, I just, like, my fingertips got to that back one. So I was just in the right place. Any further and I might not have reached it. So now I've done the repair, refilled the system, and then basically before, it would hold pressure at 1.5, 2 bar. It wasn't until you turn the heating on that it would start leaking. So I've pressured it up to 2 bar, turned the heating on, and just monitored it for a couple of minutes to make sure it wasn't going to drip. Once I was happy, thought about putting the floor back down. So on this, I've just screwed a piece of timber between the main sort of sheets that aren't going anywhere. It's still going to sit on that joist there where the glue is originally. And then once that piece is back in, I can just screw it, dot 4 screws in, 2 on my joist and 2 on the piece of timber I've put under, and that'll be enough to support it. And like I say, there was a piece of furniture going along there, so no one's going to stand on it.
22mm pipe bending challenge, no body or floor assist allowed.
There you go, there you go, there you go!
Billy. Minimal leg assist, disqualified.
Stop throwing your benders!
Glenn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's how we're doing it, is it? No, he used his leg.
Use his leg.
Blatant leg assist, disqualified.
There you go.
Stan.
Everybody automatically tries to go to their leg. Your elbows can't touch your body. He's done it. He's done it. Yes.
Success. Craig.
Arms free, Craig, not on your leg.
Yeah. Arm off your leg.
Fuck.
You can't have no.
It don't matter if you fail. It don't matter if you
It's
fail.
you versus the bender. That's
Oh,
it.
fucking can't do that.
You can't do it without assistance.
No,
Give it up.
Do it without assistance.
I'm fucking weak as fuck.
Drop it. Drop it.
No.
Pussyol.
Drop it.
Pete.
How did I do it at the last one?
Do you want to see? Do you want to watch the video?
No.
Success.